Hello and welcome back to Idle Kingdom Defense. So today we're going to try to beat King's Ruins for the second time. I know you saw me beat it once, and then I immediately didn't beat it, and I was very disappointed. Yeah, I wasn't ready. I can't take any chances now, so I really don't know what's happened the last couple days. King's Ruin has been very brutal. It's been, one time was on the dogs, which is understandable. I struggle with the dogs when pushing. Another time has been with I think 2 times have been with the ballista. One time one day I actually was like, look, I'm just going to try and do like a handful of levels and then sweep through because, I just didn't want to spend a ton of time on King's Ruins because this has gotten lengthier and lengthier. And when I went to do that, we just, I was assuming we would just go through like without an issue. And we ran into issues on stage 2. And had I not said anything, we would have just been like, well, we lost. We got to go finish up this wave and then, move on. There's nothing we can do. What can you do? Today we're just going to give it the old college try and see what happens. No quitting this time. In fact, we're already in such a good job because... There. If that castle wasn't full of health... And that's why I have to have a B team, by the way. If you're wondering, why do I have a different farm team? It's because of that right there. Because Evan, even at double speed, Evan has like a 5-second stun. I mean, this is already maybe looking more promising. I said that and then immediately regretted it because we're having the same problem again. Everybody's showing up at the front. Like, the golems are trying to help, but they can only do so much. See, look at everybody at our front door. Now I'm cheating. I'm cheating to help Sophia. That's the other dilemma. I'm starting to wonder now, did I win these because I, interfered just... Because really all I had to do was slow them once, and it looks like we probably could win this because I slowed them one time. Because Leonidas and Randolph came in, did their jobs, and went to pick them up. But I interfered. If Evan slowed something out there, would they have beaten the castle? Probably. At least Sophia's pumping us full of health. I really want to get her next rune so we can start working on the rare runes. That's another thing. I can't control Sophia's luck. And really, those runes are huge for her, because if we get this next rune, it could give her another 600 attack. And 600 attack is enormous at her level. That's almost 60 levels. Yeah, we don't get the defense, and we don't get the health, and we don't get those things, which is fine. I don't use Sophia for those things. I use her for her attack, and her attack needs to be high so that she heals a lot. So that's kind of that's why I've been trying to get that last rune up to 12. Once I get that up to 12, well, then we'll... The thing is, we will fall back into the pattern of not being able to advance as fast as the counter advances, I'm sure. Plus, I know there is a blue rune coming up, so we will work towards getting the blue rune. But the runes after that aren't going to be the ones we're looking for as much, so it all depends. We'll see what happens. I just really wish I could get this stubborn rune unlocked. It's so close. Okay, so we did beat stage 2. Is this finally going to be the day? Did Sophia finally learn how to heal? Yeah, one of the viewers in the comments was talking about how they didn't know that Sophia's healing doesn't scale with equipment, and in fact, she always heals at 100% of her attack. You can actually take her equipment off and she will heal for that amount. That's why a lot of times if you start out with Sophia and you get her and she's not leveled to at least like 2500, you'll be like, dang, Sophia sucks. And she sucks because you're looking at her expecting to heal for a portion of her attack, but at really low levels, so much of that attack is from gear and not from her actual ability, that her heal just sucks. You know, it doesn't even matter because if the 5% is actually 100%. I think that's a bug. Well, I know that's a bug, but I don't think it should be a bug. I think what they should make it do is rank 1 is 100% of her attack, rank 2 is 110%, and etc. Just scale it up that way. The reason I say that is because her attack is so low. It's either Sophia gets either they double Sophia's attack because I mean who cares, right? Yeah, they could triple, like outside of changing her heal, they could triple Sophia's attack. You know, her attack gains per level, and she's still not going to be tearing it up on the battlefield. It'd be nice. You know, would I want Sophia to do triple damage if I could have her do triple damage? Absolutely. You know, why wouldn't I want that? But at the same time, you know, I don't see them doing that. So, the solution to me is there's two solutions. One would be let it scale with gear. That to me is the most obvious solution. Like, don't create exceptions for people so they don't scale with gear and differentiate from everybody else. That makes balancing nightmares, that makes everything a headache, you know. You're making a bigger headache for yourself when you do that, with any kind of game. Instead, let them scale with gear like everybody else. You know, in that case, her scaling of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, or, yeah, or is it... No, I think it's 10. Yeah, I think it's 10, 10, then 15. That scaling actually makes sense if she scales with gear. You know, the moment you stopped her from scaling with gear, you created this weird problem. And I wonder if this happened during that, you know, there was a patch note a long time ago from the devs, like, hey, we know that you guys aren't happy, the late game players aren't happy with Sophia. We're going to buff her. I'm assuming that's when the buff happened. You know, otherwise it doesn't make sense, you know? And unfortunately on the Discord, I don't think anybody had Sophia back then, because that was like when the game first came out. I think the game came out, like, I started playing late December. So the game had been out for like 2 months at that point. And I don't know if anybody else saw those. You know, I don't know what the state of the other players in the game was. Everybody I know on the Discord, they weren't playing back then. So I don't know, and if they were playing, I don't think anybody was using Sophia. Because again, when did I start using Sophia? It was around wave 6000. I don't remember. I honestly have no idea when that would be. But if I went up 200 stages a day, it would make sense. I think it's probably within... I didn't even use her in 6000s. It's probably within the first 30 days. So it'd have to be somebody that started playing and like a month after release. Which I don't know anybody that did. Alright, we made it past 4 too, because 4 was our other roadblock that we ran into. So maybe I made the right call by buffing Sophia. Maybe I made the right call. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, that's, you know, I'm wondering if it came out of that, you know. Again, the thing that got me, and the reason nobody noticed it, is because if you look at her total attack, and you divide it by 30, that looks like about how much she's healing. So because of gear like triples her attack, if you're gonna take 30% of that, that almost looks like she's doing her healing, but the reality is take her gear off and she heals for the base amount. Again, to me, either way works, but to me it just makes more sense. Rather than worrying about her scaling with gear, just make her take 30% of gear and leave it alone, you know? I don't understand the problem with that. And then she works like every other hero and you don't have to make exceptions for her. That to me is the biggest thing, is don't... If you have a system, especially a system like this, it's relatively simple. Don't make weird one-off exceptions for characters, you know? I mean, in a way it's great because, like, you know, everybody was confused about how she functions and all that kind of stuff, but then eventually somebody figures it out. And then we all figure it out, and then we're all following the new meta. I mean, you could argue that in a way that's a certain complexity to the game, you know, but I mean, something that's buried in the menus You know, like that to me isn't adding complexity to the game, because everybody who reads the skill thinks it includes her base attack plus her enhanced attack from her weapons and her gear. So, because that's how every other skill works. Nobody else says, oh no, by the way, your gear doesn't matter, you know? So, that's just how I see it. And it looks like we're about to beat number 5. Very nice. But that's how I've always seen things like that. You know? Just, yeah. Make simple systems. Don't obfuscate weird things with multiple systems. And just make sure all the systems interact together. Because, you know, they had enough knobs. Like, if they felt... You know, let's say, you know, let's pretend. If they felt Sophia was healing too much at like 40%. She doesn't have, by the way, it's 30% max, but they could easily reduce it down to 30%. Honestly, with the cooldown they gave Sophie, it's not like she, I feel like it doesn't matter with the way they made Sophia heal. The fact that it's a heal over time, because she basically puts a hot on the castle. The fact that she has a 30-second cooldown. And the fact that you know, that she has a 30-second cooldown. You know, those two things together, to me, tell me that, you know, she doesn't need... She shouldn't be the exception, right? Like, if you look at her numbers, she is almost doing a third with her base health, as she is with, you know, with her gear equipped. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. And honestly, I just want to see her get buffed, you know, make it worthwhile. You know. I'm all for making fewer systems like that, because I don't feel like there's a big gameplay game. Like, you know, because the problem is, you look at Sophia's attack and assume that's how much she's going to heal per tick, and you know, do the math that way. And then your math doesn't show up that way, because she's the exception. Personally, I don't think that's good. That's good design, you know? Or at the very least, now, again, I understand they're a South Korean company, so I can't be too critical about the wording, but... having something buried in the manual like that, to me, isn't... They're buried in the help. Doesn't give me a good gameplay experience. But that's how I feel like with a lot of things with this game. I feel like too many of the numbers and stuff are obfuscated when they shouldn't be. But what can you do? What can you do? So far, we're getting some good progress this time. Look at them go. Nicely done, heroes. So, I mean, that's how Sophia works. I don't know. I'm just trying to think about things because it's like, you know, I don't know. I'm very disappointed with how King's Ruin has been. I still want, like, triple speed, quadra speed, Especially, I could understand them not letting the speed ratchet up when the boss is out or before the boss is out. But now at this point, I would like the ability to ratchet up towards the end. At least the option. Not that I would have had any luck using this in Conquest. I mean, those Conquest battles were like 20 minutes of me trying to babysit this thing until it finally went through. Don't get me wrong, I don't regret it. I'm glad we got it over with, but it was just so long. Trying to play perfect for that long. That was when I actually had to play, to try and. I don't envy those days. But every day is a new day. That's the most important thing to remember. Every day is a new day. And that's what makes this game great, because every day you have something to look forward to. And we're doing it. We're over halfway, at least. I shouldn't say anything, but we're officially over halfway. That's kind of surprising. I still want to see them make my Odin hero. I don't know how he would work, but I like the idea of Thor's dad joining the castle, I don't know. It amuses me so much, the thought of him overseeing everything and having all his Raven themed abilities. But yeah, maybe one day. Maybe design a hero day. Because that'd be my design. And yes, he would replace both Luke and Tristan, because his buff wouldn't stack with them. But the plus side is he'd also buff the golems and the warriors, so that way everybody contributes and nobody feels left behind. That to me is the biggest problem, is that his buff doesn't, flow down to them. I mean, not flow down, but, that their buffs would stack, and that their buffs don't work on the warriors. If their buffs worked on the warriors and the golems, then we probably wouldn't see the spread that we see, where warriors just turn up to be useless. We see the spread because they just can't take advantage of the attack buff, and that's a huge attack buff. What can we do? You know what we can do? We can wait for the Mythic update. I'm so excited for that, and I'm sure it's taking longer because they're going to give us new event dungeons and new new archer gear. How could I forget the archer gear? The archer gear that I'm saving all my steel for just in case. Oh. But we will see. I hope it comes soon, because I am so ready. You've seen me save up all my Ascension Stones for it. I am so ready. And nice, we beat Ruins 9, very nice. Alright, we're actually doing it this time, maybe. I shouldn't have said anything, I just jinxed us. That's the whole problem. Everything starts out so good. Well, this is going pretty well. We did actually vacuum up most of the guys on the right. Just a little stragglers on the left. Hopefully, Sophia being over 9,000, that'll finally be what pushes us over. That's at least what I can hope for, That's at least what I'm hoping for. Come on, Sophia, you can do it. Keep that castle alive. Nice. Okay. Is today the day we're going to beat it the second time? Nice. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Well, this is my third interference today. Didn't expect to have problems here. Alright, well, Randolph's coming to help. Okay, Evan's now focused in the center. Sophia got another heal off, so that's good. I still had to help him out. Shameful. Just shameful. I don't even want to push. These are so close, like, I don't even want to push because these are so bad. Like, we have spent over a week here. We should be, like, rolling these guys, but no. I'd say it's their fault, the heroes, but really, it's kind of my fault because I'm saving everything for mythic heroes, so that does kind of slow things down a little bit. Don't judge me too hard, okay? Don't judge me too hard for what I need to do. And it looks like we're doing well here, but we never struggled with 12. That's why I like this pattern. And so far so good. We are starting to mop this up already. I was not expecting it to be so quick. We're doing such a good job today. Well, except for the fact I had to help them twice. I had to bail them out. Shouldn't have to bail them out. That's the whole problem. They should be able to do it on their own. And there we go. That's Ruins. Well, we shouldn't be surprised. Ruins 12 is one we haven't struggled with. It has always gone really well for us. And here we go, 13. This is a tough one too, because this is another one where the wave splits. You know, the guys run in. They're not, granted, they're not nearly as fast. But Randolph has already started, he picked some of them up, so that's good. You know, and the golems are actually fighting him. You know, when you see stuff like that, the golems fighting them, and you know, them getting tanked, and those kind of things, that's what makes a wave that could be difficult like this be a good wave, you know? Because the thing is, you just have to keep them off the castle, so that the ones that do hit the castle, you know, you can't take. Ideally, you would tank everything, right? You can't always tank everything. So ideally, you could get that far away, and then, you know, just kind of bide time until the DPS catches up. You know, that's basically what it is. The warriors need to run around and aggro everything, so it's not hitting the castle, and then gives everybody else time to do DPS and keep the castle health up. And that's what they sort of succeeded today. So this might be another one. This will bring us to 13. So this might be our second time beating it. How about that? That's good. Good to see us actually making forward progress without using ruin skips, you know? Though I like ruin skips. And number 14, this should be pretty easy, but this one, even this one, you know, can screw us up because it's the same thing. With everything trickling in, if nothing trickles into the castle and the warriors don't come and say, oh, well, look, there's a lot of stuff on the castle, maybe I should do something about it, which, okay, Ryan already is doing that. We can get into a situation where they're all over on the right, fighting and tanking, and then there's a horde of stuff on the left. And we're kind of already seeing it start to pile up. Now, granted, Ryan is there for now. Oh. Oh, no. Alright, well, there's also the problem of the boss being ranged. When the boss is a ranged attacker, a lot of times, you know, that just happens where he can just sit there and hit the castle and nobody does anything about it. I'm always kind of surprised to see, you know, fights where nobody tries to pick up the boss. Now we look like we're in decent shape. So far, so good. Looks like we're just on cleanup crew now. And nicely done. The last one. We've beaten 15 before, so I think we're in good shape. This is just the tougher version of the first wave. So far, so good. We are still working on whittling them down. Okay, here comes the boss. He's ranged. Okay, he's gone. Oof. That was close. Oof. Down to the wire. Well, not really. I think we got this for once. And this will be our second actually through the 15 win. Wow! I can't believe it. It's been quite a struggle getting here. So close, almost done. Come on. Perfect. We did it. I can believe we beat 15. We never struggled on 15. What's tomorrow's buff? Alright, superheroes. That's interesting. And Archers and Christian are neck and neck. Yeah, they're both not getting upgraded. That's why. And yes, 120 points there, and the weekly is almost done. I just have to buy things out of the shop. I do look forward to refreshing this Kingdom Pass with everybody, but granted, I am a little bit ahead. I am a little bit behind, but I'm also ahead because, I try to make sure I get all the points I can every day. So, once again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and if you have any questions, please say something in the comments. I always look forward to your questions. Thank you again, and have a good day.